10.2, adoption of Resolution 222526, calling on the state of California to develop a coherent state-focused plan for supporting local schools and closing achievement gaps. Mr. Ferris.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Campbell. I appreciate the board entertaining this concept. I did ask for it to be put on the agenda because I was very excited about CSBA leading the charge in this initiative. And I do believe it's, sometimes we step back and take a bigger look and lift something that we have maybe been trying to lift for a long time, but maybe not lifting it in the right way. And I think this is an approach that really can be positive, and I really believe we ought to support it. It's kind of a long header, but I'm going to read the whole thing because I think it explains it in a way that makes it real to everybody. And if you have questions, feel free to ask. But closing the persistent achievement gap remains one of the most pressing challenges facing California's public education systems and continues to be a priority for the Sierra Sands Unified School District. Statewide student performance data, including results from the California Assessment of Student Performance and Progress, CAASPP, and indicators of the California School Dashboard, demonstrate that while some incremental gains have been achieved, significant disparities in academic outcomes persist among student groups based on income, race, and geography. These patterns underscore the need for sustained, coordinated efforts to improve equity for student achievement across the state. Sierra Sands Unified School District, like many local educational agencies, which we will call LEAs, has made ongoing efforts to support student learning, address academic and social emotional needs, and improve outcomes for historically underserved students. However, these local efforts occur within a broader state educational system that lacks a coherent, comprehensive strategy for supporting LEAs in closing achievement gaps. While California has implemented numerous programs and initiatives intended to improve student outcomes, the California School Boards Association, which is CSBA, has identified that these efforts often operate as disconnected or short-term solutions rather than a part of a unified, long-term plan aligned with clear goals and measurable outcomes. Through its Closing the Achievement Gap, which we call CTAG campaign, CSBA has called on the state of California to take greater responsibility for its role in supporting LEAs by developing focused, state-level plans that move beyond compliance-driven mandates toward a service-oriented approach. CSBA's CTAG framework emphasizes the need for the state to establish clear, measurable goals for state agencies, align the budget and the policy decisions with those goals, and publicly report on the progress through transparent benchmarks and tools such as a statewide State of the Gap dashboard. Currently, California does not have a comprehensive state-level operations and support plan that clearly defines how state strategies will assist rather than direct local school districts in their efforts to close achievement gaps. The absence of coordination has contributed to an accountability gap in which the state has not consistently held itself to the same standards of transparency, alignment, and measurable progress that are expected of the LEAs. CSBA has noted that without such an accountability, even well-intentioned state initiatives may fall short of meaningfully improving student outcomes. The proposed resolution affirms the Sierra Sands Unified School District Governing Board's commitment to educational equity and recognizes that closing achievement gaps is a shared responsibility between local educational agencies and the state. By adopting this resolution, the governing board formally calls upon the governor, the legislature, and the relevant state agencies, including the California Department of Education, the State Board of Education and the California Collaborative for Educational Excellence to collaborate with CSBA and the other educational partners to develop and adopt a coherent, comprehensive, state-level plan to support LEAs in closing achievement gaps. This action aligns the Sierra Sands Unified School District with CSBA's statewide advocacy efforts and reinforces the board's commitment to ensure improved outcomes for all California students. The financial implications for supporting this are none, and it is recommended that the Board of Education adopt Resolution 222526. It is attached, and I do move that recommended action and stand to answer any questions if you have any.
Do we have a motion?
Yeah.
Oh, he motioned, you second. Okay, great. We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions or discussion from the board?
I just have one. I think it's great that we sign on to this. Are we planning on sending this to our legislator and governor and all the recognized?
Yes, and CSBA asks that we send it to them, and they will do the same.
Okay.
So basically, this is being asked of all districts in the state of California, and the hope is that we can go to those entities with a stack of almost 1,000 of these resolutions and say, it's time. We need to work together. And I think it's really important that we recognize, just like this commitment to this initiative with the Capturing Kids' Hearts and our social contract, we are specifically asking of the state a specific reorganization of how we address things. But we are also recognizing and taking up our responsibility as well. And we want to be a part of that in a very meaningful way. But we're just, too much of the time, as our legislature changes, someone will come to office and say, I've got a great idea. And that great idea is laid on top of every other great idea. And it may or may not be a great idea for everyone, but there is no central coordinated effort to say, if we're going to do this, it's going to take significant coordination. And I think we've been talking about this gap for over 50 years and making marginal progress. So it's clear that we shouldn't keep doing the same thing, right? And we already have in California some misalignment in our educational system just by its design. So let's get serious. Let's look at it comprehensively and make a difference. So I'm excited about what lays before us. I don't think it's a small lift, like herding cats, right? But I think you get it out there first and identify it.
So historically, has CSBA done a resolution like this recently?
Not of this magnitude. This really
Yeah.
is kind of a bigger.
And how impactful that, the 1,000 school districts with over 5,000 elected officials, the school board members could put pressure on the legislator to actually do their job and do
School
something
board
that's good for
members
everybody.
are the largest body of elected officials in the state of California.
Probably in the country for
Yeah.
pretty close to it.
So
Yep.
you're right. There is power if we work together, and I think this opens up the gate for that.
Okay, thanks.
I am interested in seeing, with our TK starting program with Governor Newsom and our state started in the last couple of years, we're in full bore now. And I'm curious to see how things change as we go along with that group, as they move along and the next groups come in and our next, 5, 6, 7 years. So see if it makes, what kind of a difference it's going to make. So it'd be interesting to see. So any other discussion?
Yeah, no, Bill, I completely agree. There's strength in numbers, and it'd be nice to get all 1,000, but even if you get half, are the region delegates, are they kind of helping push and trying to get their groups to all do it so we can
Yes,
have
yes.
that 1,000 sitting on their desk and they can present all of them at the same time?
Yes, as a matter of fact, a week and a half ago, we had a meeting of the delegates from Region 12 and heard this presentation on this particular. And we've been working on it CSB has been working on this for quite a while, but it really is, like I say, a heavy lift, and it's not something you just say, I got an idea and roll it out in 3 days. Yes, to answer your question, yes, the delegates were presented that and asked to do exactly what we're doing and asked to go back to their districts and other districts that they know and say, hey, let's all get on board with this. And I think part of the story also is that, you know, we have a system that is designed to say, here, from the state level, here's what we want you to do. But we don't have a very good system that says, okay, what are you doing, what's working and what's not working, and how can we help you succeed? Sometimes there's little punitive things in there. If you don't do this, then, you know. But that's not effective, right? It really needs to be okay, if this isn't working there, maybe you're unique. Maybe there's something in your specific community we need to address. How can we help you do it? And I think that's the attitude we're trying to foster. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Well, I guess the question is, do we know if like AXA, CTA, all the other big units of the state that have a lot of power in Congress, are they signing on to this as part of the force to get it through Congress or not?
I believe one of the items listed in the header did talk specifically about the conversation, including our other education partners, which would be those that you spoke of. So the intent is, yes, to invite them to be a part of this movement as well.
Okay,
and I don't see any reason why that would not materialize.
Comments or questions from the staff or community? Okay, do we have a recommendation?
I think we did.
We
already did a motion.
Oh, my sorry. Okay, Jasmine, preferential vote?
Aye. It'll work this time.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed, 5-0.